What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the City Life Project YouTube channel for yet another predictions video. Noche UFC, that's right, UFC Fight Night, Grasso versus Shevchenko 2. We're going to run down our predictions here on this live stream, back by popular demand, as we used to post all of our predictions videos just as a video. You guys love the interactive element, so we're bringing it back. Sorry I couldn't go live last night, and sorry for the thin streaming schedule this week, ladies and gentlemen. For those who joined us last weekend and those in the Discord, we were talking about how I'm actually going up north in about 2-3 hours up to the Dakotas for Drecker Fest. If you know, you know, in the Midwest. So I'm going to be gone pretty much until Sunday. We will try to fit in a Fury stream Sunday night. If not Sunday, there actually are two really good fight cards on Monday. A kickboxing card and an MMA card. So we will sneak those in to make up for it. And then right back on the saddle Tuesday, Dana White Contender Series. And then we get right back into next weekend, which is unbelievable. Starting off Friday, Superlek, Rod Tang. But enough about that. Those are just some housekeeping notes right on the top of the stream here. You guys are here for one thing and one thing only. You are here for my picks and predictions. And stick around till the end of the video. Stick around because we have our City Life Project brought to you by Vulcan Degenerate Parlay of the Week. Let's get into the first fight here. And how we're going to do this is do them in chunks. So we'll do like the first 3 fights. I'll give my opinion, picks, breakdown, and then we'll get back to the live chat. We will start with the live chat here. I see Vulcan's here. What's up, buddy? It's great to see you. Great to see you. Then we sprinkle even more on the Degen parlay. Absolutely love it. All right, starting the card off here. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Starting the card off here on the prelims, we have Josefine Knutsson against Marnic Man, the sawed-off savage, which again, that's a savage nickname. I respect that. I like that. Looking at the Swede, who did not get a contract via Dana White's Contender Series just 2 weeks ago, despite putting on a really good performance where I said, compared to some of the other people who are getting contracts in seasons past and this season, in my eyes, she should have gotten one. But hey, she gets signed to the UFC regardless. 6-0 as a pro. That's why she is undefeated. Contender Series, UAE Warrior. She's only 27 years of age. And not only did she win her fight, she put on an absolute clinic on Dana White's Contender Series. 3-0 in FCR. She beat a 4-1 gal, Verbeek, on Contender Series. And again, she just absolutely schooled her. Beat a 4-0 gal, 6-2, 4-3, 3-0. Like, I remember talking about this on Contender Series. Like, she has an unbelievable record and an unbelievable resume given where she's at in her career. Kickboxing phenom, which kind of served as her, combat sports amateur career. Even though it was pro kickboxing, that's where she kind of got the reps in the striking department. And so far, it's translated to mixed martial arts. She's only 27 years old, so obviously going to be adding some more tools to the belt there. You got Knutsson as well, Vulcan. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Looking at Marnic Man, 6-1 as a pro, so very similar record. She is the huge underdog in comparison, though. Minus 450 favorite for Knutsson, plus 350 for Man. Man was the woman that Bruno Brazil last season of Dana White's Contender Series knocked out via the head kick. What's up, Phony? Great to see you, buddy. Like I said, plus 350. She's 30 years of age, out of USA. Let's take a look at her resume here. Tapology will comply. 3 KO, 2 KO, 1 submissions, 2 decisions, 3-0 in LFA, 0-1 in Contender Series. Like I said, she did get back on the regional scene in LFA, mind you, against a 7-6 gal. So not the best win there against Amber Brown. Like I said, lost to Bruno Brazil. Even before then, I guess 4-1 is not bad. 6-5. Again, when you're 1-0, that's pretty good. You guys know my rule. I'm not super critical on the opponents of the fighters, especially when they're like under 5 fights in their pro career. She did have a decent amateur career though, going 4-0. I don't think Man is like terrible, but this one isn't a coin flip for me. I think the betting odds have this one perfect. Now, anything can happen in mixed martial arts, and more so will happen in women's MMA, but I'm going to Josefine Knutsson. I think she's just better all around, striking in particular with a kickboxing background, more combat sports experience, great Dana White Contender Series win, great gym. Each have similar records, but Knutsson just has better experience fighting better fighters, in my opinion. Man got hit by a head kick once before, and that wasn't even against a primary kickboxer like Knutsson. Knutsson's also been more active, where Man, I think, has only fought once since her last Dana White. Yes, she's only fought once since her last Dana White Contender Series appearance and loss. So anyways, going with Knutsson. That is my pick. We'll get back to the live chat after a couple more fights that we run down here, folks. Every 3, every 4, we'll get back to the live chat. Appreciate every single one of you. Smash that like button if you haven't already, though, and welcome to, and if you're just joining us, welcome to the City Light Project Noche UFC. That's our UFC Fight Night Grasso Shevchenko 2 picks and predictions video. All right, next on the card, we got Charlie Campbell against Alex Reyes. Yes, the younger brother of Dominic Reyes. Charlie Campbell, huge favorite. -400, the cannibal, Charlie Campbell. 7-2 as a pro. He is 4-1 in his last 5 fights. 28 years old as well. Very much still a prospect. Serra-Longo guy. Which they've been, man, Serra-Longo, they got guys on every single card. Guys and gals on every single card, it seems, these days. Rosas Jr.'s actually spent this camp with them as well. 5 KO TKO, 0 submissions, 2 decisions. What a beauty. 2-0 in Bellator, 0-1 in Contender Series. He did lose to Chris Duncan, but I just want to say he actually was looking pretty damn good. Dare I say, winning that fight before Chris Duncan hit him. Now, again, that's just highlighting that he didn't get absolutely schooled by Chris Duncan in his only MMA, or at the time anyways. Oh, no, sorry, in his second MMA pro loss. After that, won a grappling match, Fury Pro Grappling 5, and then went to Cage Fury FC. We beat a 9-5 guy. Not the best record there, but being called back to the UFC. Resume, again, not super impressive. 6-2 is his best win. Although, again, he did look good against Chris Duncan. But he's not bad. Don't let that fool you. If you haven't watched this guy fight, go watch especially his fight against Chris Duncan and the 2 fights prior. He's got some skill. Alex Reyes, though, we know he has skill. 13-3. He is the underdog plus 300. 36 years of age. Guys, the last time we saw him fight professionally was when he was 30. He has taken a 6-year layoff due to injury. He has tried to come back and fight. He has not fought since 2017. He's tried to come back and fight, though, many times. 2018, I believe 2020. 9 KO, TKO, 4 submissions, 0 decisions. I mean, you got to love him. And when he did come up as a prospect, 12-0, it was like, oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God.
Reyes Brothers just is submitting people, knocking people out, finishing all his opponents. It was tremendous. 4-0 in King of the Cage, 0-1 in the UFC. So 2018, and then twice in 2023. So yeah, and throughout that entire time, he's facing injuries. Lost to Mike Perry in his UFC debut and absolutely, wrecked the regional scene before then. Some suspect wins, but he was a menace. He was talented. He was a legit prospect coming in. Mike Perry kind of dummied him a little bit, and he's faced injuries ever since. So, again, 6 years ago, this might be a very, very close fight, but it ain't 6 years ago, man. It's 2020. It's 2023 right now. That's absolutely insane. So I'm going with the favorite, Charlie Campbell. Reyes is not even close to a prospect anymore. He doesn't even have that status despite his record. Injured since 2017. I highlighted the good fight that Campbell had against Duncan. I think he's actually a really good striker as well, and he hits hard. He hits real, like his jabs will cause guys' heads to move back there. Yeah, again, if this was 6 years ago, I probably would be leaning Reyes just because his resume, his name, his finishing ability, even against suspect opponents. But yeah, I mean, 6 years off facing injury. I mean, people say ring rust is real after like a year off, let alone 6. So, and it's not like he was just training that whole time. He was training but nursing injuries at the same time. So anyways, I'm going with Charlie Campbell. Okay, we'll get back to the live chat after this next one here. Tracy Cortez against the Canadian Jasmine Jasudavicius. Now, I feel like Tracy Cortez is getting all the votes here from all the simps. And that's not to say she's not a good fighter, but I think this one should be a lot closer. I really do think this one should be an absolute pick'em, or that Jasmine should be the favorite, to be perfectly honest. But we'll get into that in a sec here. Tracy Cortez, 10-1 as a pro. Very impressive. And a Contender Series alumni as well. Brian Ortega, what did you do? What did you do? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. By the way, did you guys see Brian Ortega going on that like Twitter spree after liking and following every woman on the planet? Anyways, funny stuff. Minus 130. She is the favorite, fighting out of Scottsdale, Arizona, 29 years of age. Again, I think she's getting some sympathy picks here. Trains at a fight ready. Cejudo camp. 1 KO, 2 KO, 1 submission, 8 decision. Women's MMA. 4-0 in the UFC. Impressive. 2-1 in Invicta and 1-0 off Contender Series. She has some good names. She's got some good names. She's beaten Erin Blanchfield in Invicta. Mind you, split decision. Stephanie Edgar. Melissa Gatto. Yeah, nothing crazy here. But a win streak's a win streak, man. A win streak's a win streak. And she also went 6-0 in the amateur scene. Like, in her division, weight class, and in women's MMA, Trace Cortez is a good fighter. And look, she is absolutely gorgeous. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off right now. So I understand why she's popular. She actually proves it in the cage as well. But someone who's been proving it lately, someone who I wrote off early in her career, to be perfectly honest, and now I'm a fan. Now I'm like trying to interview her on this channel. That is Jasmine Jasudavicius. Now, I'm not going to let my fandom of either of these fighters, how attracted I am to Tracy Cortez and how impressed I am of Jasmine Jasudavicius as of late, sway my decision here at all. I promise you all that. 9-2 as a pro. She is 4-1 in her last 5 fights. Put together a great 2-fight win streak as of late. She's 34 years of age. That's the thing. Like a young 34, super athletic. Seems like she's just entering her prime right now. Out of that Niagara top team, 2 KO, TKO, 1 submission, 6 decisions, 3-1 in the UFC, 1-0 off Contender Series as well. Great win against Miranda Maverick. Absolutely just dominated her. Good win against Gabriela Fernandez as well, an 8-1 opponent. Lost to Natalia Silva, and that's when this is when I kind of was like, oh man, Jasmine, because even though she put a good 3-fight win streak, Cage Fury FC, Contender Series, and the UFC, I wasn't completely sold off her because she lost a split decision to Elise Reed. And I was just like, I mean, there's flashes of dominance and greatness, but I just wasn't completely sold. After that Silva fight, I mean, I think that showed us more of how much better Silva is than a lot of the ladies in this division. More so than, maybe how bad I thought Jasmine was at the time. And boy, was I wrong. She came back, looked great against Gabriela, and looked amazing against Miranda Maverick. I mean, that's one of the best wins she has on her resume, and how she did it too. I'm going with the underdog on this one. I'm going with the Canadian. I'm going with Jasmine Jasudavicius for the simple fact that she's just a bigger woman and she's stronger. She dummied Miranda Maverick. She tossed her around. She out-grappled her, and that's Miranda Maverick's game, wrestling, right? Tracy Cortez, for as technical as she is, I think they're both like equally good strikers. I think that's a good match. If they keep this on the feet, it will be a good striking match, but I think Jasmine hits a little bit harder. I think she will be able to out-grapple Tracy up against the cage. I think she will be able to take her down with ease and control position, get the ground and pound. I think Jasmine actually has a decent chance of finishing this fight. And if she can't finish it, I mean, that's, again, credit to Tracy Cortez and how good of a fighter she is, fight IQ, just in that division, as for women's MMA in the UFC in particular. She's, like I said, she's not just a pretty face, pretty body, the whole 9 yards. Okay. She actually has some skill. Her record reflects that. I do think Jasmine is just, her size and strength difference is going to be the factor here, even though I think Tracy Cortez is technically more sound and more talented as a mixed martial artist, if that makes sense. So I'm going with the stronger woman here. I'm going to Jasmine Jasudavicius. And again, I'm surprised that she's not the favorite going into this one. So that is my pick. All right, let's get back to the comments here. Phony, happy Friday. Great to see you. Been working, buddy. Been working. Then I'm going up to North Dakota in about a couple hours here. So no, I have not watched One Championship today. But we will tomorrow. Or not tomorrow. Next week. Already booked it off work and everything. Phony, as you see, there's no schedule posted. As you know, because I talked about it last week, I'm gone this weekend. Going up to Drecker. But I will be back Sunday, and I will be back. So we might be able to squeeze in a Fury FC fight companion on Sunday. If not, we have potentially 2 streams for Monday. In addition to the exclusive membership stream, then we're back on the saddle Tuesday, and we got a full weekend ahead. Surprise JDM is the favorite. Me too, Gino. Me too, to be perfectly honest. Volcan's got Cortez here as well. So yeah, guys, sorry for the thin streaming schedule this week. Been planning this weekend for a while. Going up to North Dakota, there's not only a brewery up there called Drecker Brewing, it's Brewhalla. They have a hotel, they have like a strip mall, they have restaurants all in like, and they own it all. They built it all together. It's just such a cool complex that I have not been able to see it because it was just finished, I believe, 6 to 8 months ago. We have friends up there, owners of the brewery and the head brewers there we've been in contact with. I've actually interviewed I believe one of the head brewers there twice. My co-host on the podcast on my second channel, the Soda Pod, he's done a whole tour there and he's gone up there a few times. And last year I think so maybe it was a year ago, their like grand opening. It's called Drecker Fest. It's awesome. And from what I've seen anyways, from what I've heard, and I can't wait to hit that up. So we're going to be driving up to North Dakota in about a few hours here. So I'll be back, like I said, Sunday, and we'll get right back on the saddle Monday throughout the rest of the week. Anyways, back to the picks here. Keep the comments coming, guys. Thank you so much for joining us here. We're totally interactive throughout these streams. And again, we used to just do a predictions video, kind of like Guru, kind of like some of the other content creators out there. But you guys really liked the live element. I did one live. I saw actually James Lynch does his live, and you guys love the interaction. I love the interaction. So I tried one live. You guys said you loved it. I'm going to be I have been now putting timestamps in the description of the video and in the pinned comments after. So those who don't join us live and don't want to sift through, us going back and forth with the chat in between, highlighting a chunk of these fighters, you guys will be able to just see my picks and predictions run down the whole 9 yards right when we start. What's up, Ethan? I think Holland and Jasmine are the best underdogs on the poll. Thank you so much for chiming in on the poll question. Yes, guys, smash that like button if you haven't already. And if you're viewing live, check out the poll question. What is the best, or who is the best underdog on this card? There's a few good ones. Put it this way. There's a few value underdogs on this card. I regret just saying that they're good underdogs because some aren't good underdogs. Some are good value underdogs, and we'll get into that in a sec. Ethan's great to see you. Gino, great to see you. Volcan, great to see you. And of course, Phony Turgeson, great to see you as well. Let's get through the next chunk of predictions here. We got Edgar Cháirez against Daniel Lacerda. How's this guy not been cut yet? Anyways, and how are the odds like this close in comparison to some of the other ones we've seen? Well, we'll get into it. 27 years old is Cháirez. Is it Cháirez? Cháirez? Edgar Cháirez, the Pitbull. But by the way, a valiant effort, and dare I say a great loss against Tassiru Terra. I thought Terra was going to run through him. He looked so good in that one. We'll get into it in a sec here. He's the favorite, minus 225. He is 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Lost his last fight, again, to Tassiru Terra, who I thought was just going to absolutely dummy him in the grappling, and This Mexican striker has got some great grappling defense and scrambles, ladies and gentlemen. 4 KO, TKO, 6 submissions, 0 decisions. That's right. He finishes every single one of his fights that he wins. 0-1 in Contender Series, 0-1 in the UFC. But again, don't let that cloud your judgment. He is a very good fighter. Again, resume not the best either, but a few good wins here and there. 10-3, 5-2, 4-1. Or he lost that one. 4-1. There we go. A lot better than I thought he was. And I remember watching the Guru's breakdown. Oh shoot, who's the other guy? There's another one who I watched who did regular breakdowns. I think it was Artem, actually. Artem for that one. And I mean, just like myself, they were like, this guy has no chance. That's who Terra's gonna just probably submit him early. And no, he proved that he's good everywhere. He may not be great, but he's good everywhere. To say Terra, you look, fairly beat him unanimous decision, but it was just like, okay, you actually have something here, because Terra's no joke in his division. Was on a 2-fight win streak before that, mind you, not against the best opponents. But speaking of going up against lesser opponents, Daniel Lacerda, 11-5, currently on a 4-fight losing streak, yet he's plus 185. Really? They're both 27 years old, by the way. He's from Brazil. 1-4 in his last 5. Like I said, 11-5. He came into the UFC looking good. Sorry, by the way, it's about Tapology. It's their pop-ups. Or their pop-up ads, anyways. Their banner ads. It makes it hard to scroll when you're loading the page. 5 KO, TKO, 0 submission, 0 decision. So I respect that he's finished every opponent that he's beat. 0-4 in the UFC, 2-1 in Shudo, Brazil. And yeah, it doesn't look good. Though there were some moments against CJ Vergara, like he rocked him at one point, still lost in the second round. Lost in the first round to Altamirano. Lost in the first round to the lesser Figueiredo. Lost in the second round to Jeff Molina. Like, these aren't good losses, okay? Especially so early. None of his UFC fights have gone the distance. I can't trust him. He's scrappy. He pushes the pace early. He's not going to knock out the Mexican Pitbull. He's not going to knock him out. He's not going to out-grapple him, even though I know he's Brazilian. I know he's born with, a few stripes on his white belt, whether he went down that road or not. He showed that he's a good grappler against a grappler-first guy in Terra. Now, this one, in my opinion, is easy money. Edgar Cháirez should win this one. Look, both aren't anything special, but Daniel Lacerda he's not that great. Like I said, 4-fight losing streak. I think Cháirez has good grappling defense, great power, great striking. He is like a trench fighter, like in the trenches. If you're dragged into hell with Edgar Cháirez, he's the one walking out. He's the one walking out unscathed, unburned. You know what I'm saying? Better cardio as well. He can match the pace of Lacerda and outlast him. And ultimately, he just hits harder and can take a better shot. This one should be minus 400, in my opinion. All right, moving on to the next one. And again, I'll get back to the comments here in a sec, guys. Roman Kopylov against Josh Fremd. I feel so bad for Josh Fremd here. He just seems like such a nice guy. And he's going to be absolutely destroyed, in my opinion. You kind of already know my pick here. But let's run it down. Maybe you guys think otherwise. And we'll go through the comments here in a sec, because I want to hear your opinions on these picks, guys. Roman Kopylov up against Josh Fremd. Roman Kopylov, he looks so much like Chase Hooper. 11-2 as a pro. He's just the bigger Chase Hooper. 3-2 in his last 5 fights. He's on a 3-fight win streak. 32 years of age. 11-2 as a pro. Such a good record too, because like he was just kind of shot out of a cannon. Like when he went pro, he was still very, very raw, and he was winning off his talent and just abilities alone. Now that he's like starting to learn, now that he's learned the game, now his fight IQ is there, now that he's polished, now that he's well-rounded, man, he's coming into his own. 10 KO, TKO, 0 submissions, 1 decision, 3-2 in the UFC, 1-0 in ACB. Good win against DeChirico. Mind you, he was on his way out. Good win against Soriano. Great win against Claudio Ribeiro. Claudio Ribeiro hits hard, ladies and gentlemen. He kicked him in the head and knocked him out. Ribeiro's a knockout artist with a good chin in his own right. Before losing to Derive and Robertson, I mean, look at the streak he put together, mind you, on the regional scene. Not the greatest opponents, but honestly, a better resume than some of the other guys and gals that we've looked at, even on this stream here. 9-2, 6-2, 7-1, 15-5. Dude, Kopylov is sick, man. And look, not the most talented wrestler, but his wrestling defense is really coming into his own, and he's so strong. He's massive for middleweight. But Josh Fremd also is massive for middleweight. Let's be perfectly honest here, folks. He's 11-4 as a pro. He is 3-2 in his last 5 fights, and he's on a 2-fight win streak here. Plus 210. What's up, Brando? I'll get your comment here in just a sec, buddy. Plus 210. He is the underdog out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. 6'4" as a middleweight. 4 inches on Kopylov, who's a big middleweight in his own right. They both have a similar reach of 75 and 76 inches, respectively. Josh Fremd, 4 KO, TKO, 4 submissions, 3 decisions, very well-rounded. 4-1 in the LFA, 2-2 in the UFC, 1-0 in Bellator. Beat Jamie Pickett easily all 3 rounds. Beat Cedric Dumas via guillotine choke. You guys know I am not high on Dumas at all. I know he won his last fight in the UFC. I don't think he's that good at all. Jamie Pickett, he's not that great either. He's fine. That is a better win for Fremd there. He lost to Trayshawn Gore, dude. Trayshawn Gore is basically Blood Diamond, but from the Ultimate Fighter. Okay, then that's disrespecting Trayshawn Gore. He's way better than Blood Diamond. Lost to Anthony Hernandez, lost to Robocop, no shame there. He's got some good wins in LFA, don't get me wrong. I think Fremd is fine, to be perfectly honest. I think Fremd is perfectly fine. Plus 210, is that too big of an under? I mean, like, that might be good value. But I'm very high on Roman Kopylov, and I do think that even if this goes the distance, he's going to do more damage. And I don't think Fremd's going to knock him out. I just don't think Fremd has that knockout power that Kopylov has, despite the size difference. I'm going to Roman Kopylov. What do I have here in my notes? Very good, slick striker, so strong, hits hard, decent chin, developed against tough guys on the regional scene, smoked his last few opponents. Josh Fremd has a good chin, but not a lot of power. And, he's been knocked out recently as well. He's fine. He's well-rounded. That is Josh Fremd. Big, but not as strong as Kopylov, in my opinion, which is why I'm going with Kopylov here. All right, let's get to a few comments here before we get to the next matchup here, guys. As we get to the final, I believe it's the final fight on the prelims, is Elise Reed, Lupita Godinez. All right, what do we got here in the comments? No, Jedin probably controls the stand-up, and if he stops a takedown, he has a great chance. But again, like, surprised he's the favorite. That's what we were saying. And I don't think JDM controls the stand-up personally. I think he has good boxing. I don't think it's enough to control against a lanky guy who can control distance. Because look, JDM's going to have to fight Holland in the pocket. Holland can just kick him on the outside. And there's not really a threat for the takedown there. The only threat from JDM as far as a grappling game is him dropping for a guillotine. I think JDM knocked out Hafez. Everyone be like, oh, easy match. That's what made the odds close to a thing. Dude, Hafez is awesome. And taking that fight on short notice, I mean, they both gassed in that 3rd round, but I was very impressed with his performance for a guy who, pretty much only had a gas tank for a 1st round, who had a bad weight cut. Brandor, one of our exclusive members, thank you so much for joining. Brandor, you're an absolute beauty. What's going on, buddy? Pick of the night, Jasmine. Jasudavicius. I think Tracy took too much time off. Maybe Tracy will come back better. When I saw Jasmine live in Vancouver, she's a dog. Give me Jasmine with the activity. Absolutely. And I think she's just stronger. I think Tracy Cortez is more technical and more talented, quite frankly. I just think Jasmine is a stronger woman. Straight up. And I think their striking is pretty even. My bookie made a mistake listing Rosas as plus 750 plus 1100. I sprinkled the 1100 prop. Should I bet more? Is it a huge mistake? Thanks. I have no idea why he's so much. Why he's such a big favorite. That's all I'm going to say. He's probably going to win because his opponent is not the strongest and his grappling isn't the best. We saw Simon out grapple him. Now Simon's very good, but is he the strongest guy? I mean, he's tiny. Rosas Jr. is bigger than him. So, I mean, I understand why people think it's a clear path, but I'm sorry, dude. Like, man strength over kid strength. I mean, I think it's fair for him to be the favorite this much. That seems a little crazy. He doesn't know how to stand. That's true. For sure, that's crazy odds. I'm going to check that out. Thanks. No, of course, but he's not as big. So that's the thing. It's like, anyways, we're going to get into it here in a sec. We'll run through the whole breakdown here in a sec. I just think it's crazy odds given, like, this kid's 18, he's going up against like someone who has a lot more experience than him and someone who's not the worst. Like, Mitchell's not terrible. He's not great, but he's not terrible. I think Mitchell's better than the guy who beat Rosa last time, to be perfectly honest. But we'll get into that in a sec here, guys. Yeah, no problem. I generally think I've got better striking than Rosa. He's terrible on the feet. Volkan too. All right, let's get to the next fight here, ladies and gentlemen. Lupita Godinez against Elise Reed. We will get back to the comments here after we get through another chunk of breakdowns. Smash that like button if you haven't already, guys, and subscribe to the channel. Sorry for the thin streaming schedule this weekend. We usually stream up to six to 8 times every weekend. I'm away this weekend. I will be back Sunday, hopefully to fit in Fury FC Fight Companion. If not, we'll do 2 on Monday, as there's a really good kickboxing promotion and an MMA promotion overseas. Lupita Godinez against Elise Reed. Shout out to the Mexican native fighting out of Langley, British Columbia, baby, my home province. 10-3 as a pro. She is 4-1 in the last 5 fights. She's the heavy favorite at -450. Come on, Tapology. 0 KO, TKO, 2 submissions, 8 decisions. Yeah, not the most exciting fighter to watch. 5-3 in the UFC. Not bad. 1-0 in LFA. She's on a 2-fight win streak right now against, honestly, Cynthia Calvillo, Emily Ducati. Emily Ducati, meh. But Cynthia Calvillo, solid. Don't let her record fool you. Like, she's solid as far as, like, she's a test for anyone in this division. Lost to Angela Hill. Angela Hill, again, don't let her record fool you. She's a weird fighter. She loses a lot split decision, but she's going to stand and bang and make it a firefight every single time. Before then, beat a 14-2 gal and 6-2 gal, both in the UFC. Luma Bunmi is actually very good. Not the best grappler, but a very, very good striker. Very talented kickboxer and Muay Thai fighter. So that is actually a very good win. And Selena Gomez Cháirez, another good win on her resume. Elise Reed, despite being the same age, 7-3, despite being the former Cage Fury FC champion, I'm
not impressed by your performance.
I'm just not impressed by your performance ever, Elise Reed. 7-3 as a pro. Even her last win, I mean, you went up against a can. You went up against a can that the UFC had no business contracting her opponent at all. No business. None. 2 KO, TKO, 0 submissions, 5 decisions, 3-3 in the UFC, 1-0 in Bellator. Why was Jin Frey even in the UFC? Why? Lost to Luke Boomney. Beat Melissa Martinez. All right, good win. Lost to Sam Hughes. Beat a young Corey McKenna. Lost to Eubanks. I mean, man. Jasmine, Jasudavicius beat her. DeCourcy beat her. I like DeCourcy, by the way. She's I believe she's the champion in Invicta, or maybe she lost it last time. Look, good amateur career. Rose through the rankings of Cage Fury FC. I love Cage Fury FC, but I have just never been impressed with Elise Reed, man. And though Lupita Godinez breaks my heart at times, it's women's MMA. It's always going to be a coin flip 9 times out of 10. It's hard to predict more than anything. but she's got great wins as of late. She does disappoint, but usually against better girls. Elise, she's not good. She's bland. She's bland. I've been watching a lot of Hell's Kitchen lately. She's bland. And her last good win was against an absolute can. Godinez is well-rounded, way faster. Both are strong, but I think Lupita Godinez absolutely dominates her. That was my pick. Oh, sorry, that was so loud. All right, up the card we go, ladies and gentlemen. To the main card. First fight on the main card. We got another Canadian, Kyle Nelson, against Fernando Padilla. Now, I mean, you know I love to root for the Canadians. And Kyle Nelson, the monster, a very good career, I will say. Not great career. He's a veteran through and through. Very good career. As of late, though, it's been a little come see, come saw, as they say in Eastern Canada. But let's take a look at the Mexican first. 26 years old is Fernando Padilla. 15-4 as a pro. He's on a 3-fight win streak, 4-1 in his last 5 fights. He's the favorite, minus 250, and he's only 26 years old. Again, keep the comments coming. Love that you guys are talking amongst yourselves with each other right now. I'll get back to the comments after we get through a chunk of these fighters. 5 KO TKO, 8 submissions, 2 decisions. Very well-rounded. I like to see that. 3-1 in LFA, 1-0 in UFC. Great right hook against Julian Erosa in his last fight. I picked Erosa to win that one, so I was burned, but happy with the highlight there. Beat a 9-3 Cameron Graves in Fury FC, and also a Nate Richardson 8-2 in LFA. Great wins on the regional scene. Lost to Spike Carlisle, who's very much a veteran. Decision, no shame in that. His other 2 wins before that, there's a little bit of shame in that. His last 3 wins are amazing. Just split decision, whatever. He at least got the win. Made up for it with a second round knockout via an elbow and a first round knockout against a veteran in Julian Erosa. So very much very much like what I see from the young Fernando Padilla. Up against the monster though, Kyle freaking Nelson. Now Kyle Nelson, he's got that dog in him. He's always gonna bring the fight. He's always gonna go to unanimous or go to a decision. It seems like he just doesn't do enough to win. As of late, you know, like he's in there, he's fighting, he's taking shots, he's throwing shots, he's fouling, he's getting fouled, he's in there. It just seems like recently, anyways, in the last few years, 3 years in particular, I just want to see more. I just want to see more of the monster. 14-5 as a pro. It's turned into a no contest. No, this was a decision. Oh, it was a draw. That's right. So he's 2-2-1 draw in his last 5. He's 32 years old out of Huntsville, Ontario. He is the underdog, plus 205. However, there's good value on that type of veteran winning a decision. Now, I know I just said like he doesn't win a lot of decisions, but plus 205 against a 26-year-old who, yes, has been putting guys out. That's good value. That is good value, and that's not my Canadian bias seeping in. Look, I'm freaking wearing North Stars jersey right now, baby. Or hoodie right now. 14-5-1, like I said, it's not a bad pro MMA record. Come on, Tapology, you can do it. 5 KO, TKO, 4 submissions, 5 decisions. Very well rounded, like I said. Good everywhere, not great everywhere. 2-4-1 draw in the UFC. 3-0 in Real Extreme Fighting. It was a good win against Blake Bilder. I'll give him that. I would have liked to see a finish. It was a good win. Draw against Doo Ho Choi. He was losing that fight, but Doo Ho Choi had a point taken away. What was it, for a head clash? Not a bad fight against Jai Herbert at all. Again, one of those where it's like it was going back and forth, and I just wanted to see him do a little bit more to get that win. Yeah, got taken out by Billy Quarantillo. Beat Poyo Reyes, who's not a good win there at all. 8-6. So again, as of late in the last few years, haven't been impressed, but a good veteran. And at plus 205, I'm not picking him to win. I'm going with Fernando Padilla, but plus 205 to win a decision. Do not count out the monster. Do not count out the monster. All right, one more matchup here, then we'll get back to the live chat. I see Dirty Hippo. What's going on, buddy? Activate A. I see you guys. Thank you so much for joining. I just want to get through one more matchup, then we'll get back to the comments and we'll hear your guys' takes on the last wave. All right, up the card, we have Daniel Zellhuber against Christos Giagos. Now, I was super high on Zellhuber. I picked him to win last time. I picked him to win when he lost in his first UFC fight coming off Contender Series, but he had a good win in his comeback. I really like this prospect. 24 years old, 13-1 as a pro. And it's not like the Golden Boy has been crushing cans. He's the favorite at minus 250. It's not like he's been crushing cans on the regional, okay? It's not like these Japanese fighters coming in at like 22-0, fighting in, deep and Shudo Japan, fighting guys who are like 9-36, okay? Training out of Extreme Couture, so great gym, 7 KO, TKO, 2 submissions, 4 decisions, 1-1 in the UFC, 1-0 off Contender Series. Great win against Lando Venata. Like, beautiful win. Didn't finish him, but dominated. Lost to Trey Ogden, though. That was bad. That was bad. You can't lose to Trey Ogden. But he was young. He was young. Everyone gets a mulligan at that point. And he got his first loss, so learning experience. Great win off Contender Series, despite it going unanimous decision. Didn't like, obviously, this fight in Lux. Which is kind of, it seems very weird that he fought a guy making their debut before his Contender Series fight, but before that, beat a 12-3 guy, 8-4, 4-0, 4-1, 6-2, 3-1, all when he was still on the rise. That's what you want to see. That's what you want to see. Takes a step up in competition after 3-0, fights a 3-1, 6-2, 4-1, 4-0, 8-4, 12-3. I love that. That's what you want to see on a resume. That's what you want to see when a fighter is developing. And like I said, just very well-rounded. His opponent, though, not bad. Sorry again about the Tapology tripping out, guys. It's not me, it's them. It's not me, it's them. He's not a bad fighter at all. Don't let the record fool you. 20-10 for the Spartan. Giagos, 33 years of age. He is 3-2 in his last 5 fights, coming off a win. I'm just going to let it sit for a sec. It's like once their banner ads are done popping up, then it stops tripping out. 33 years of age, 8 KO, TKO, 4 submission, 8 decisions, pretty well rounded, 6-6 in the UFC, 2-1 in ACB. Beat Ricky Glenn in his last fight, but like Ricky Glenn was so long in the tooth, I think the tooth was hitting the ground.
Oh my God!
Excuse me. Didn't even see that one coming. Lost to Thiago Moises, lost to Armin Sarukian. 2 good fighters, don't get me wrong, but he got dominated in both of those ones. Beat Sean Soriano. Beat Carlton Muniz, who was 10-2 at the time, so that was a good one. Lost to Dracker Close. Lost Charles Oliveira, got absolutely dominated by him. I mean, like, he's lost to some really good names. As you can see, his last few losses, Thiago Moises, Armin Sarukian, 10-1, Dracker Close, and Charles Oliveira. No shame in that at all. But it's just like, he's never been able to take that next step. You know? He was always knocking on the door. Now Charles Oliveira is way past him, right? He's a title contention, former champion. He's not even close to his vicinity anymore, but he can't even get to that next step where Charles Oliveira was at that time before Charles went on his run. So I don't know. He's good. He's well-rounded. He's a good veteran. But I just kind of like that, kind of like Kyle Nelson right now, just not doing enough as of late to show me that, like, you can beat these talented prospects. You can take that next step and actually compete against, I don't even know where he's ranked, but I'd say just around like the 20 mark, I think, at 155, or maybe a little bit below. Like, he's not even close to the rank, like the top 15, not even close. He might even be, further out of the 20s. You know what I mean? So I'm going to Zellhuber on this one. He's just getting better and better and better every time we see him. Other than that one loss where I'm not making excuses for him. He didn't look good in that fight, but that was his first ever loss. That was his first ever loss, and he's 24 years of age. I think he was like 23 at that time too. So I'm super high on this prospect. When he's good, he's good. And most of the time, all you see is the good. UFC fans have only seen one instance of, dominance. So I'm very excited to see how his career plays out. Knock on wood, continues to do well. Having said that, Giagos, not a bad underdog. Not a bad underdog because he is experienced, because he's fought very good fighters before, and his resume is not that bad. And Zellhuber, as I look at my notes here, in his only loss, he wasn't beaten up. He wasn't dominated. He just didn't look himself. He wasn't dominating. He wasn't dominated, but he didn't dominate, and ultimately was close enough where he lost it. Great regional record, like I said. Raw, huge reach and power. I mean, 77 inches of reach, 6'1", going up against a guy who's 5'10" with 71 inches of reach. Giagos is going to have to take this to the ground if he wants to win this or fight in the pocket. Two things that Daniel Zellhuber will welcome, I truly believe. All right, before we get to the featured fight here and talk about the three main fights on this card, we'll get back to the comments. I'm just going to load it up here. Again, shout out to everyone joining us today for this UFC Fight Night Grasso versus Shevchenko 2 Noche UFC predictions video. All right, what's up, Son MMA? Good to see you, buddy. All right, let's see. I'm just scrolling up through the comments here, guys. I always watch your predictions for my home bets. The only one I'm saying bet your house on is Super Lucky against Raw Tank. I appreciate you guys. I'm not the best, but thank you. Thank you. It's cool to have you guys here every week as well. By the way, stick around till the end of the video, guys, for the City Life Project's Degenerate Parlay of the Week, brought to you by our friend Volkan here. On the feet, I always worried for Nelson, but he could wrestle the Mexican. He could. That's the thing. On the feet, he's just bland, but he is game. He is game. Activate 8, it's great to see you. Dirty Hippo as well. Yes, thank you. Boost the algoritmo. Oh, Activate A. We got something cooking. We'll give it at the end of the video here. But Volkan, what do you got cooking? Good things. I went to do a challenge I saw online in 5 weeks. He tried going all in, starting from 100, and the goal was 5,000. He screwed up week 4. I want to do something likewise. Well, just be careful. Play with your, with what you can afford to lose. He wasn't the gladiator anymore. I will cook a DGM parlay at the end of the show, but sprinkle it small if you bet, though. If I'm more confident about the DGM parlay, I will definitely let you know. JDM missed weight. Oh, man, I know his weight cut's always crazy. I will get into again, we're not at JDM yet. I will give my thoughts on JDM. Oh, wait, he didn't miss weight? Okay. Oh, you're screwing with me. Yeah, I see. Let's just say it's not going to affect my prediction regardless. Yeah, I will bet smaller though, like €50 on the plus 100/200 in the next week, going all in with that for like 5 weeks. You end up doubling it 50 times in like 5 weeks. Okay, the box of shame. I got you. Yeah, he just fought. He fought 2 months ago. And he's a big boy. Yeah, indeed, he is. It's good to see you, buddy. I have not this morning. I'm actually leaving. I'm going to be gone all weekend. I'm going up to North Dakota, actually. There's a brewery that also built a mall, restaurant, and hotel complex that they all own, and that they've all their hotel rooms, like all the walls are painted like their can art and things like that. And they have a huge festival this weekend that I'm going up to in a few hours here. So thin streaming schedule this week. I will be back on Sunday, hopefully to fit in Fury FC. Yes, Activate A, kicking and screaming, but if that's the only one we can fit in the weekend, we're going to do it. And then Monday we have 2, and I will post the schedule. Again, it's very thin for the rest of the weekend and Monday, but we're gonna make it up to you guys with at least 3 streams, and then we're back on the saddle. Monday, exclusive membership stream. Tuesday, Dana White Contender Series, and then next weekend is absolutely insane. Friday, Super Like Rod Tang. Oh my goodness, it's going to be amazing. Oh, nice on MMA. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, it's called here. I'll send you guys the link for it. It's called Brewhala. Shout out Drecker Brewing. This is their website. Highly recommend you guys check it out. It's really, really cool. They're a very, very unique brewery. And their can art artist, very much kind of like Iron Maiden's album cover. like kind of like Iron Maiden's art, like the Eddie figure or their mascot Eddie. It reminds me of more of a psychedelic, though, more of a psychedelic Iron Maiden style of art. And their can art artist like works for them, with them. He does murals in their brewery, in their tap room, in their events room, and in now all the hotel rooms. And I'm actually going to commission him to draw me a sketch of what I want to get for my first and big ass tattoo. My sisters are both covered in tattoos. I've yet to have one, but I'm going to get a massive one. I'm going to go big. So hopefully he will be there. It'd be cool to meet him. But we've connected with that brewery before on my second channel and my podcast, The Soda Pod. If anybody wants to support my second channel, by the way, please do so. I'd really appreciate it. It's hockey and beer talk, which is why I'm going off about the beer here. We'll get back to MMA in just a sec. But we've interviewed the head brewer and one of the owners before on the channel. We have a full, actually, you know what? I just talked myself into a promotion here, guys. We have a full walkthrough of the brewery, a full vlog on the Soda Pod channel, guys. That is right. My co-host actually did a whole walkthrough there. So I'm going to post that in here, and then we'll get back to the UFC stuff. But it's just a very cool tap room. Really good stuff. Here is the link. All right. Appreciate it. Yeah, I've never been before. It's a year old. I cannot wait. What's up, Tarzan Strickland? I think Jack will win. His pressure could thwart Holland's reach advantage. That's his path to victory for sure. Yeah, I got my days mixed up earlier this week. My apologies. I didn't post the schedule for a reason, guys. It's a brewing festival, the drink. I think they're doing special releases. They have free tattoos to anyone who wants the Drecker logo. They have food trucks, they have music, they have like just other like event things and seminars. Yeah, there's a lot going on. What's up, Hoggy from home? Great to see you. But yeah, I'm also not personally driving, so that's why I kind of got some things mixed up. So my apologies earlier this week. I used to know the owner at Red Racer in Victoria. She showed me around the facility. It's so sick learning about it. Yes, dude. I'm a big fan of Red Racer. I've done a few tours at VI Brewing. Hoyne is a really cool joint as well. And what's the other one? Moon Underwater. They're all kind of in that complex near the bridge. Kind of like a really kind of shadier part of downtown, but still in that like industrial complex there. Moon Underwater, they're a good brew pub. If you're ever in Victoria again. Not streaming tonight, Hoggy from home. My man Dylan, what's going on, dude? Good to see you, brother. Yes, it is indeed the thumbs up. Good to see you, man. Hope all is well. Hope it's still feeling like summer back home on the island. It's been a little come see, come saw today. It's actually piss and rain here. Reminds me of home. But good to see you, man. Thanks for dropping by the chat here. Hockey night in Canada. Dun, 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 do, 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 do. How long they've been in the business? It looks very hipster modern. Yes, it is hipster as hell. And honestly, other than their hazy IPAs, I'm not a fan of their like main style. But which is like these crazy sours, but they're like smoothie sours. They just do a lot of funky stuff. They do a lot of hipster ass stuff, which I'm very much more like West Coast IPAs and traditionals. Like that's me. I think they've been around. The brewery I think has been around. It's been around over 5 years. The complex for just one. Gotcha. I'll tell you about the subs next stream. Yes, I will. And I'll check the Discord. I checked a chunk of the message. Sorry, I haven't been able to get back to you. But anyways, speaking of getting back to business here, let's get back to the final 3 fights here in this predictions video. And then we will hang up the gloves. Sorry, I'm not streaming the rest of the weekend, guys. I know, like KSW's tomorrow too. I hate missing KSW. You guys know that. Good LFA card, good Cage Fury card. I mean, there's so much mixed martial arts this weekend. So much combat sports that I'm missing out on. But hey, I told you guys ahead of time in fairness that I was going to be away this weekend. Back on Sunday for Fury FC. There's a kickboxing card and an MMA promotion on Monday. Exclusive membership stream also on Monday. Then we get back on the saddle Tuesday onward. Nice, the prospects games. All right, let's get back to the predictions here. We're going to get through the last 3, and then I'll get back to the comments, guys. I went 11-3 last weekend, 11-2 the weekend before. The only pick last weekend I'm been hard on myself for is the Tuivasa one. I let my heart pick that one. I should have let my head pick that one. All right, Raul Rosas Jr. against Terrence Mitchell, minus 550. Heavy favorite.
Emotional.
That is insanity. That is insane. I have no idea why he's that big of a favorite. I really don't. 18 years of age up against a 33-year-old Terrence Mitchell. Is Terrence Mitchell really that bad? Is he really that bad? I honestly think Terrence Mitchell's better than the last cat who beat Rosas Jr.'s personally. Let's take a look. But again, 18 years old. He's a freaking sponge, right? Like he's getting better at such a rapid pace that maybe the odds makers, maybe those betting know more than I do on him. He is training at a Serra Longo now. He is 7-1 as a pro. 18 years of age. He is the youngest active fighter on the UFC's roster. 1 KO TKO, which is crazy because the guy's got 0 hands. 5 submissions, 1 decisions, 1-1 in the UFC, 1-0 in Contender Series. Again, lost to Christian Rodriguez in his last fight. Before then, beat Jay Perrin, Mando Gutierrez, which honestly, that was a pretty decent win. Mando looked terrible on The Ultimate Fighter after that, though. And then crushed a bunch of cans. But again, I can't judge a fighter when they are under 5 wins. When they're under 5 fights. I don't care who you faced when you're under 5 fights, because at that point you're just taking fights. So I cannot judge him. He is a very good grappler. He's got 0 striking. Very, very, very good grappler and very strong for a 135er. Like he once he becomes a man, he'll probably be 145. Once he grows into his frame a little bit more, I imagine. Talented grappler, crazy that he's only 18 years old, but he's going up against Terrence Mitchell, who's 14-3, a lot more experience, respectively 4-1 in his last 5 fights as well. The huge underdog at plus 400. Huge. Now, I don't like his nickname that much, Tear Bear. I mean, sounds like something like his grandma gave him, like his Meemaw gave him, but I don't know. 6, I don't know why I said Meemaw. Isn't that like a southern term for grandma, not Alaskan? 6 KO TKO, 8 submission, 0 decision. Hey, he finishes all his opponents. That's what you want to see. 0-1 in the UFC, 10-2 in Alaska Fighting Championship. Now, Alaska Fighting Championship, it's a rugged regional scene. It's not the best, but 10-2 is 10-2. Lost to Cameron Simon, who, in my opinion, is one of the best prospects in this division. The one thing, though, is Cameron Simon is a smaller frame guy, although he's South African, so he's just got that fucking South African strength, you know? But he's a smaller frame guy. He tossed Mitchell around. Like he daddied him. He out-muscled him. He out-grappled him. He threw him around with ease. So that's kind of my concern. And then if you look at the wins of a Mitchell in his last few fights before that, I know he was on a win streak. Not the best. And he took a lot of time off between his fights as well. I mean, 2018 fought, then he fought in 2023 3 times. So he had so many canceled bouts between 2019 during the plague, 2022, lost to Kai Kara-France on the Ultimate Fighter Season 24 back in 2016. Like, that's how long this guy's been around. And again, some of the guys he's fought, they don't even have records here. So definitely a can crusher. Definitely a can crusher that the UFC is still high on since he's in the promotion. Oh, man. I don't know. What do I say in my notes here? This one, I just wrote in all caps, risky. You know what? The kid's 18. Is he really that strong? Prove me wrong, Rosas Jr. I will pick you next time if you prove me wrong. But at plus 400, I'm going with Terrence. Terrence Mitchell. Terrence Mitchell, keep this on your freaking feet, and this is your fight to lose. Like, it's his. I mean, he's gonna win if he keeps it on the feet. My concern is Simon tossed him around like it was nothing. And Rosas Jr. is bigger than Simon. This could be, this is not the Tuivasa pick on the card like last week, because honestly, like, no one knows how good this kid's actually going to be yet. And I went over all the factors that seemingly is the reason why he's the betting favorite and why people think he's going to win. Very good wrestling, super strong, big for the division, even though he's 18. And he's constantly learning and probably getting better at such a rapid pace. Terrence Mitchell, though he's a can crusher, he didn't look the worst when he was on his feet against Simon, but as soon as Simon got the takedown and got the grappling advantage of him up against the cage, which was quick, by the way, it was over. I want to even say that Mitchell, for some reason, initiated a takedown at one point as well. I got to imagine Mitchell here, he'll try to keep this on the feet, and that's the path to victory. This is a risky pick. Am I going to be kicking myself for this one? No, not like the Tuivasa one. That one was very much heart over my brain there. So anyways, Terrence Mitchell, that is my pick. All right, last two fights on the card here. Then we'll get back to the comments before hanging up the gloves. For all you guys got to get back to work. And I got to drive up to North Dakota. Or actually, I don't get to drive at all. I just get to chill. I'm actually literally going to be editing video on my computer on the way up and then posting it in the hotel room. That's how committed I am to continue to get you guys videos this weekend, despite me not streaming. Co-main event of the evening, the people's main event. Kevin Holland versus Della Maddalena at welterweight. Thank the Lord that Kevin Holland is sticking at welterweight. I really like him at welterweight. More so because he's admitted this, he is more disciplined in his training and his diet, outside the cage when he's fighting at welterweight versus middleweight, and it's clearly showing in his last few performances. This one's a pick'em. -115, the slight underdog for Trailblazer. Big mouth Kevin Holland. 25 wins, 9 losses. He's only 30 years old. Look at that resume. This guy's one of the most active fighters that we've ever seen in the UFC. And what I love about him too is, did you guys see him roasting that reporter? Not really roasting, but he kind of got a little snippy at a reporter who was asking him basically in regards to the belt and why he's not worried about chasing the belt. And he's like, this is my job. I'm more concerned about getting as many fights as I can to make money. He's like, I could care less about the belt. The guy's like, well, won't the belts give you big money fights? He's like, yeah, but if I fight 3 or 4 times a year, that's one big money fight, and he loves to fight. So I just loved how he was like, this is my job. If I don't care about the belt, why do you care about the belt? Why do you keep asking me about it? And I just love how candid he is. I really do. 13, and I love how good of a striker he is too on the outside. KO, TKO, 13 of them on his resume. 8 submissions, 4 decisions, 12, 6, and 1 no contest in the UFC. It feels like he just got here. Does it not? Absolutely insane. 1-1 in LFA, 1-0 in Bellator, 1-0 off Contender Series. Destroyed Michael Chiesa. Dare I say, retired him with a Darce choke, no less. Beat Santiago Ponzinibbio. Great win there. I know Ponzinibbio's a little long in the tooth, but he's still a very tough opponent. Stephen Thompson, I mean, look, if they didn't have that gentleman's agreement, Kevin Holland would have won that fight. Khamzat Chimaev, well, let's just skip past that one. No shame in that. Beat Tim Means, beat Alex Oliveira. And has fought some of the best in the middleweight division before that. Marvin Vettori, Derek Brunson. Beat Ronaldo Souza when he entered the UFC. Beat Joaquin Buckley, Anthony Hernandez. DeChirico was actually really good. Gerald Mershart. And this is when he was young. I mean, younger. He's been so active. You look all the fights he's had in 2019. It's absolutely insane. Lost Brendan Allen, no shame in there. Thiago Santos, no shame in there. Just what a resume, man. What a resume. And he's only 30 years of age, and it's not like he's too banged up. You know what I mean? He doesn't face that many injuries compared to some other fighters who are that active and fight. And he's probably fighting through some all the time. Every fighter is banged up. 81 inches of reach, standing 6'3" at 170 pounds, and he's got knockout power. He's got massive hands too. They're huge for how skinny his arms are. But he's going up against a very talented, tough pocket boxer in Jack Della Maddalena, who's fallen in love with the guillotine, apparently. He's 5-2 as a pro on a 5-fight win streak. 27 years old. He was the underdog early this week. He's coming in as the favorite now, slight favorite at -105. One of the biggest prospects that everyone's talking about right now in the UFC. Like I said, 15-2 as a pro. 11 KO TKOs, 2 submissions, 2 decisions. 5-0 in the UFC, 1-0 Contender Series. Again, this last win is a tough one to judge. Della Maddalena was supposed to fight both of these guys fight week. Had to cut weight twice. Okay, so his fight was canceled. He stayed in Vegas for another week, fought on the next card, cut weight twice, and it's hard for him to cut weight anyways. And fought a guy who's also coming off short notice, who had to cut a lot of weight, who faced some health issues, who actually brought the fight to him a lot. Like, Basil Hafez is no joke, but he's no like superstar either coming off the regional scene. And it was just a sloppy fight all around. And Della Maddalena just kept dropping for guillotines over and over and over again. It was like, what the hell are you doing? It could have gone either way. It really could have. Hafez could have won that split decision. So hard to judge that one. I mean, Della Maddalena, he just wanted to fight. He put his body through hell and back twice because he was in the United States, made that trek from Australia, the whole 9 yards. Great win against Randy Brown, Danny Roberts. I mean, all of these wins in the UFC have been great wins. All of them. Every single one of them have been great wins. Danny Roberts, Emiv, and Randy Brown being the best of them. Impressive that, this was a dogfight at the end. There was a guy who could breathe a little bit more, and that was Della Maddalena. All right, my pick for this one, though. And I feel like I have a good argument, and I'll explain. Oh my God, I'm going to smash Tapology. I can't smash Tapology. It's a website, but I wish I could. I don't mean that in the endearing way. I mean that in the cause pain way. Kevin Holland is my pick. He has more tools. He's as good or a better striker in the pocket and distance. He's fought better opponents. He's beat better opponents, and he can grapple. Della hits hard, though, is an exceptional pocket boxer. Crisp, clean, quick boxing, but he has to be in the pocket. So if Kevin Holland wants to keep us on the outside, it's Kevin Holland's game all day, every day, baby. He's not as polished as Kevin Holland, and he's had a tough last 2 months. He's fighting 2 months after that double weight cut and grueling fight in Las Vegas. I don't think his body's prepared. Kevin Holland, for some reason, he's used to this. And Kevin Holland's last fight was respectfully a little bit longer than that of Della Maddalena. He's had a little bit more time to either nurse injuries, train, prep for this one, where Della Maddalena goes back to Australia and is now back fighting in the United States again. Big travel, big weight cut, just 2 months shy of that craziness where he put his body through hell, man. And it's not only that he did 2 weight cuts and the fights were canceled, 2 weight cuts and finally a fight that went 3 rounds, and it was quite grueling. Now, they didn't hit each other a lot, you know what I mean? But it was grueling. So for that reason alone is what I didn't even have to look. I didn't even have to know who Kevin Holland was to be able to be like, okay, honestly, I'm going with the guy that they matched up against, Della Maddalena. The fact that it's Kevin Holland, a guy who I truly think is better than him, not by much. And that's not to say that Della Maddalena couldn't surpass him or a lot of people in this division soon. I just think with everything that Della Maddalena has been through recently, his body, not his mentality, his body's been through recently, and how this is just another day in the office for Kevin Holland, who's fought guys similar to him. I think Kevin Holland will win this fight. I think Kevin Holland might even put him away. Now, that's not in my prediction. That's not being locked in, but I think Kevin Holland's winning this one. There is no gentleman's agreement to keep this on the feed either, okay? Finally, main event of the evening, and then I'll give you guys our degenerate parlay of the week, brought to you by our friend Volcan in the live chat. Thank you guys so much for joining us here. We'll get back to your comments here in a moment. Main event of the evening, the rematch. A title fight not on pay-per-view. Noche UFC main event of the evening. Alexa Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko 2. Alexa Grasso, 16-3 as a pro. She is 5-0 in her last 5 fights. She's 30 years of age, fighting out of Mexico. She is representing the country well on this card as the main event, as the champion. 4 KO, TKO, 2 submissions, 10 decisions, 8-3 in the UFC, 4-0 in Invicta. She beat Valentina Shevchenko in her last fight to win the belt. Beat Viviana Araujo in her fight before, unanimous decision. Rear naked choked Joanne Wood. Beat Macy Barber. Beat Ji Young Kim. Only lost to Carla Esparza and Tatiana Suarez. And Felice Herrig. She's only lost to Felice Herrig, who, but Tatiana Suarez and Carla Esparza before that, no shame in those losses, and beat every other girl. This isn't even a good win. Is anyways continuing to fight today. Look, very, very good boxer. Clearly has good grappling and is a submission threat as well. But does she hit as hard as Valentina Shevchenko? I don't think so. And Valentina Shevchenko, the bullet, it's not like she's never lost before in both professional mixed martial arts and kickboxing. She's a mixed martial arts soldier. She even said in an interview yesterday that like her relationship with her mother, for better or for worse, is a coaching relationship. They are a fight family. They're not a sentimental family. They fight, and they're very hard on each other all the time. And that's what breeds champions. Minus 160. She is the favorite. Challenger for the first time in a long time. It's going to be weird to see her in that white fight kit. I'm used to seeing either red or, well, the championship kit. Valentina Shevchenko, obviously 4-1 in her last 5 fights. But her last 2 fights of obviously losing to Grasso in that close one against Santos. 23 wins, 4 losses for the Tiger Muay Thai and so many other gym. She travels all around and trains all around. 8 KO, TKO, 7 submission, 8 decision. Very well-rounded, 12-3 in the UFC. Pretty much cleaned out the division until Alexa Grasso was there to fight. She beat Taila Santos, who, again, close fight. Destroyed Lauren Murphy, destroyed Jessica Andrade, destroyed Jennifer Maia, destroyed Caitlin Chukagian, beat Liz Carmouche, Jessica Ai, Joanna Jędrzejczyk. I mean, the best of the best at this point in this division's development. She should never have even been able to fight her, as she was so bad. And only losses of note were, well, she got the rematch and the revenge against Liz Carmouche back when she was only 7-0 as a pro. She lost to Amanda Nunes twice and Alexa Grasso. Very, very good resume for the 35-year-old. That's right. Valentina Shevchenko's 35 right now. It's crazy, man. Time flies. All right. My pick for this one. I am going with, and I really hope I'm not burned again, but I'm going with, for the second time in a row, Valentina Shevchenko. Look, I think it's going to be a close-ish fight. I think it's going to be a lot like the last fight, where it was competitive. Each were landing strikes. Each were getting some shots in. But for every 1 strike that Grasso landed, Valentina landed 3 more, and they were 3 harder. Other than the first round where Alexa Grasso landed that 1 big shot that rocked Valentina for a bit, Valentina landed way more volume, but we still gave it, I think everyone gave it to Alexa Grasso. After that, Valentina Shevchenko won the next 2 rounds. Valentina Shevchenko dominated in the striking the next few rounds. It was, and in the control time. It wasn't until she got cocky, she made a mistake, that Alexa Grasso was able to capitalize on that. And Alexa Grasso is that dangerous, is that good. That's why you have to be dialed against her. But she was beating her. And I think that's how the fight plays out again. Whether there's a finish or not, I do think Valentina Shevchenko wins a decision. And I think she clearly wins, let's say, 3 out of the 5 rounds, 4 out of the 5 rounds. Honestly, I don't think Grasso's going to put her out. I think she might rock her again. I don't think she'll put her out. Like I said, she was winning the fight before her mistake. Better all around, more dynamic striker, hits harder. I think, honestly, she's going to have to challenge Grasso in the pocket early to just kind of get that respect back. But if she wants to fight this at a distance, just don't throw spinning shit. Leg kicks, calf kicks, distance feints. In and out of the pocket, but no spinning stuff, okay? Grasso is a tremendous striker. She's a champion. She's an elite striker in this division, and she's very, very smart. But she's a pocket striker. She's a Mexican boxer. She's tough as nails, but she's a Mexican scrapper. Valentina Shevchenko, way more skilled, way more technical in more, and it has more tools in the striking game. She's less one-dimensional than that of Alexa Grasso. Not to say that she's one-dimensional, because she does have good kicks as well, and she does put the kickboxing together well. But again, Valentina Shevchenko, she's on a tier of herself in the women's division when it comes to that type of striking, since Joanna Jędrzejczyk is, no longer with the promotion and no longer fighting. If Valentina doesn't play with her food, if Valentina doesn't get too cocky, I believe she will win this fight. Yeah, like I said, it was a close first round in their last encounter. Props to Grasso for landing that big shot, but Valentina Shevchenko was schooling her in the other rounds. Bullet and new. All right, back to the comments we go before we reveal our degenerate parlay of the week. I'm scrolling up here, guys, so bear with me. What's up, Socrates? Good to see you, buddy. The Leafs got destroyed by Blue Jackets yesterday. It's preseason, doesn't matter. Okay, sorry, I'm going through a bunch of comments here, guys, so refrain from commenting and for like 2 to 3 minutes so I can catch up. I should watch Terrence media press. He's super likable guy. Got me wanting him to win. Definitely rooting for him. Nice. I will watch. I'm slowly getting. I got a 4-hour drive, and I'm going to be in the back seat up to North Dakota, so I'll be listening to that for sure. That or editing video. Mitchell does have a shot here. Like he's Alaskan, which is a little sus, but he's got a good record. I'm not high on Rosas if it goes to third because Rosas doesn't relax in the fight. That's true. He shoots love out of his chest. What's up, Socrates? Never lost team Mitch, but he looks solid physically. You look like Penn Bagley. I don't know who that is. Simon is used to fighting big, strong bantamweights. Yep. What's up, TRPZ? Yeah, it's been a while, dude. How are you? You excited for KSW this weekend? I didn't see he got arrested, but I did see that he was fighting Mike Jackson. I forget what podcast it was, but they were like, it was like former fighters who were just like, man, it's just sad. I'd say bet the under. I see great value in plus 225 over 1.5, even though they normally don't go that far. The wrestling of both might cancel it out, and I don't see them knocking each other out. Let's see, though. Thing is, though, Mitchell has no worries at all in the feet. His only defeats in the UFC have been via KO. Rosa doesn't have KO power. I can't unsee it now. Rosa doesn't have that man strength, though. Yeah, but Mitchell doesn't either. I'm hyped about this one. This was a tough to call. That was a bad look. Very close fight as Kevin is more complete, but I think JDM has more volume on the feet. Let's see, though. More volume on the feet. If he can hit him, dude. If he can hit him. I got JDM early, plus 110. I still think he's the slicker striker. In the pocket, maybe. Yeah, nice. You have him at plus 110. I won't bet him at minus 150, probably since Kevin can catch him if he goes to the ground. Kevin can catch him on the feet, guys, with a step back hook or a parry hook. Easy. Maybe not easy, because actually Jack Della has a good guard, has a good high guard, but I'm not letting the name Jack Della Maddalena and all the hype he's getting right now cloud, how good Kevin Holland is on the feet either. And I'm high on Jack Della. Power, again, you guys are looking over Kevin Holland's power too. He arguably has just as much or just a little bit under power in his hands too, especially at 170. Yeah, JM talked about that Gilly situation and admitted he regretted that, which is a good look. But he made that mistake early. Either man has the ability to get it done, but I predict the style and physicality matchup will favor Jack. Holland only uses his ground game if he knocks down his opponents or they take him down. Can't see him shooting a takedown. Did you guys listen to his interview today, though, or yesterday? He said that it is not going to be a striking match. It's going to be an MMA match. Now, take that for what it's worth. Holland, Grabble's best avenue, sweeps, trips, or knockdown is true. Will be especially hard to shoot on a shorter opponent. He's not the better striker in the pocket, and that's what I said. But he is good. I think everyone's just overlooking him because of the Jack Della Maddalena hype and name right now. And again, don't get me wrong. He's good. Maybe he is better. Maybe he is. Maybe I'm totally off. I'm not saying he's bad by any means. I'm just saying that everyone's looking at the prospect with big heart, googly eyes right now and forget that Kevin Holland can strike. This is a hard pick. JDM is good, but Holland tough as hell. Wonderboy couldn't KO him, but JDM has body work. I think Kevin is better in the clinch, so if JDM gets in close, he can clinch and use elbows and knees. Jack doesn't play the range game. This is the thing. It may be similar to Izzy Strickland, kickboxer versus boxer. The range may not be given. I hope Jack Della pressures as much as Strickland, but I ain't fucking betting on that, dude. That's true, though. Basil did show a way to beat Jack. Will be up to Holland to execute that. The Miev win for Della was the most impressive. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that Basil fight felt like he did himself a disservice with them Gilly attempts for sure. Guys, I cooked my DGen parlay of the week. What's up, Benjamin? Good to see you. One of our exclusive members as well. Grasso, Holland, Jasudavicius also ruined for Terrence Mitchell. Holland can wrap up subs impressively, but Jack was never in deep threat from the muscle tank Cháirez in minutes of full-on grappling exchanges. Yeah, Cháirez gassed after the first round. Holland is tricky, though. He can win in many ways. All right, here's Volkan's picks. Kopylov by TKO, KO'd minus 125. Rosa Mitchell over 1.5 plus 225. Shevchenko by decision plus 150. End up around plus 1,300. Dude, that's good. That's my DGen parlay of the week. If you bet it, sprinkle it, though. I think Shevchenko has lost a step in her game based on 1-2 fights. If it goes deep, Shevchenko will make a mistake. She shows kinks in her arm on the last 3 fights. Give me the younger. See, in the Santos fight, absolutely. In the last fight, she was winning that fight. She made one big mistake where she got too cocky. So I don't think it's lost a step, as you say. And this is my opinion. I don't think it's lost a step. I think it's got too cocky. And she is cocky. She admits she's cocky too. But Grasso could definitely take advantage of a mistake again. Good odds. Watch Grasso Shevchenko yesterday. It was pretty close. I think it was pretty clear that Shevchenko was outlanding her as well. Go look at the striking totals as well. Both good fighters, but I think Shevchenko scraps out a 49-46. I think, like, don't get me wrong, I think Grasso earned that first round because despite getting, I think she almost was like outlanded double by Shevchenko. That harder shot was enough to put it away, but the rest of the fight, I have no idea how you guys can score it for Grasso. I really don't. But again, but she's smart and she took advantage of the mistake. So that's like, I'm praising her. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I looked at the numbers. Valentina plus over 1.5, same game parlay plus 100. No spinning shit. Good luck. Thank you guys so much for joining, by the way. Keep grinding, growing the channel. But thank you so much. Sorry I can't stream a lot this weekend, guys. Only Sunday and Monday. And then we're back Tuesday for Contender Series. I literally leave to go up north for a craft beer festival in a couple hours. Good assessment. I think Valentina edged the striking also. She has a good sharp jab. And she has good leg kicks. Just none of the spinning kicks. Hell, even good body kicks just don't spin. I think if Valentina, she's better at popping in and out of the pocket. If she stays in the pocket, I would like to see her challenge Grasso to, like, again, to gain some respect. But she could very much play the distance game and get the takedown, get the ground and pound. Peace out. I'll see you all next time. I won't be back later. Again, I'm not streaming later. Got to get ready for the day. Leave my house in 40 minutes to go to my mom's school. Have a great day, Hockey from Home. Little sprinkle. I might copy that parlay. I think it's a good parlay. Thank you so much for joining as well, Brando, one of our exclusive members. I could for sure see her cockiness. It's hard to tell. I just guess we'll see Saturday. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, it's a close fight for a reason. It's a close fight for a reason. I think you will Hockey from Home. You say near future. Near future. It's quite literally near future. You will get to 100 near future. You're only 6 away. Everyone in this chat who hasn't subscribed to Hockey from Home, go do so. We only need 6 to get her to 100. Haha, yeah, let's go, Brando. See them all individually having like 70, 80% chance of hitting. No locks, though. Let's see. I sprinkle it. And the DGen parlay of Isha that will come up next. I guess not a mistake. I guess just playing with her food a little bit. Capitalizing on a... Well, you know what? I will say, the intention wasn't a mistake, but it wasn't executed properly, which is why she was able to catch it and take her to the ground. So, no, I'll stand by it being a mistake, but the execution, not the intention. So there, does that answer the question? Because she wasn't throwing spinning shit earlier in the fight. She was winning. She threw spinning shit and it caused her to lose. So there we go. There we go. Thank you so much, Hogger from Home. I will see you Sunday. Sean, thank you so much for joining. Sean, love the MMA Guru sending his chat your way. That's awesome. Yes, MMA Guru, Moicano have each rated the chat the last few weeks. So big shout out to them. Again, 2 more videos will be posted this weekend, folks. I've finished editing one. I just have to post it. Hopefully I can get it up before I leave here in 2 hours. If not, then I will get it up tonight at the hotel. And I'm editing one on the trip up as well. So I will have one drop Sunday morning. Hey, fair enough. Your opinion. I think where the and again, I'm just gonna. You called me out on my verbiage of the way of describing it. So I'll defend it, and I'll defend it honorably by continuing to back it by saying she was doing none of that fancy stuff, and it was helping her win the fight, and she was winning. As soon as she tried to be a little flashy, it burned her. Now there wasn't a lot of data to go off of, so in her mind, I can pull this off. It'll be fine. I've done it against other opponents. I think in this case, you probably stay away from it. All right, guys, have a good weekend. Her choice to spin at range was the mistake, arguably. I think she shouldn't have thrown any spinning shit tomorrow. No, and Benjamin, totally picking up what you're putting down, but I'll stand by it. All right, guys, before we hang up the gloves, if you haven't already, like and subscribe. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. We do these prediction videos every single week. We stream every weekend. This weekend is going to be very thin as I am going up north. I'm out of town today, tomorrow, but I'm back Sunday. We will squeeze in, if I can, a Fury FC stream on Sunday evening. If not, we have 2 planned, an MMA and kickboxing promotion on Sunday. Or on Monday, I should say, back with a membership stream on Monday, then right back on the saddle Tuesday for Dana White Contender Series, and we have a full weekend of mixed martial arts. All right. The City Life, the moment you've been waiting for. Thank you guys so much for those who have been waiting. Thank you so much for those who have just watched the video for this and this alone. The City Life Project Degenerate Parlay of the Week. Brought to you by our friend Volkan Arctic. We need a drum roll. We got number 1, Alex Reyes. Number 2, Terrence Mitchell. Number 3, Daniel Lacerda. 3-fighter moneyline parlay. Alex Reyes, Terrence Mitchell, Daniel Lacerda. That is a degenerate parlay if I've ever seen one. I didn't change it. You guys can hold me to it. There it is, the degen parlay of the week. Guys, it's going to be weird not streaming this weekend, hanging out with you guys until Sunday. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the fights. LFA, Cage Fury, KSW, Noche UFC, and so much more. Enjoy the fights, enjoy the kickboxing, enjoy the Muay Thai, enjoy the boxing. I will see you guys back on Sunday for a Fury FC stream. Knock on wood, we get back in time. I will see you back on Monday for sure for an early morning stream and an afternoon stream, followed by the membership stream. And for everybody else, I will see you live Tuesday. 2 more videos dropping this weekend, 1 later today, 1 tomorrow. So be sure to check those out. And until next time, I will see you folks on the next one. Last couple comments here. Rivelocity, I picked Mitchell and Reyes. Let's go. Have fun at the brewery, dude. Don't try that gross, thick IPA stuff. Hoping they can pull it off. See ya. Yeah, me too, buddy. Thank you so much for joining. Let's go. Take care, brother. I want to miss you all, but I will be back Sunday. Enjoy the fights. Those in the Discord, I will be active in the Discord, so hit me up there this weekend. Like and subscribe, and I will see you folks on the next one. Peace.